Alright guys, you might be stuck at home with not a lot of art supplies, but you want to paint or do something. So this is a technique that we have done with our 3rd graders and 5th graders, but I want to show you guys how you can paint with no paint at home. So if you have any kind of marker, grab a marker. Don't get this ultra clean washable if those don't work as well. So if you have this kind of marker, try to get one that's just a regular Crayola. Don't do the ultra clean washable. That doesn't work as well. Get just a regular marker. I've got my marker, got a purple marker, and a paintbrush, and then a cup of water. That's all you need. And we're going to paint without any paint. I'm going to show you guys what we're going to make first. Here's just a kind of watercolor bunny. It's getting close to spring and Easter. It's spring right now, but getting close to Easter. So I'll show you guys how we're going to take a marker and draw our bunny easily, and then we're going to make it watercolor just with water. So that's what we're making. All right, I just got a plain piece of paper and a marker. So let's draw our bunny first. We're gonna start with the bunny's head. So I've got just my marker. I'm gonna draw on this side of the paper just a big curved line, kind of like a C halfway. That's the top of his head, and then we'll draw just a curved half line coming in the bottom. I'm gonna make his little eye, and you don't have to fill it all in with your marker. Make him a little nose and his whiskers. I'm gonna come up here and make his first little bunny ear. So to make a bunny ear, it's kind of a curved line towards the top of the paper, and then we'll make a curved line coming back towards the bottom. I'm gonna make on this ear some inside. Okay, so the thing about painting without any paint is that you want to put a lot of your marker in. This is that big art word, value. So we're going to learn about that today. We're taking and putting a lot of marker into the places where it would be darkest. So our 5th graders did this earlier, and 3rd grade did this with Christmas trees. So you can use your marker as your paint. And the dark value is just dark to light. Where you want it to be darkest, you can put a little bit more marker. So I'm going to make that second bunny ear coming behind this one. So kind of coming out, and then come down. And where I want it to be darkest, I put extra marker. Okay, so I've got that much. I'm gonna come in not all the way to the back, but right about here, and make the front of his body. So just a curved line coming down. Make his first little leg right here. Curved line coming down towards the bottom. Then just a curve, his little foot coming out and come up. And I'll make another one behind it. So line coming down, curved line up, back towards the back. You don't have to see the whole leg. It can be kind of hiding back in there. Okay, we're gonna make the bottom of his body, so kind of a curved line across. Then make his back little leg, a big curved line in there. His foot. These lines don't have to be perfect. They don't have to attach, because we're gonna take our water and kind of smear over them. So it's not a perfect line. I'm gonna come to the back foot and then draw the back of his body up and down to his neck. And he's got his little, back here, we've gotta make him a little bunny tail. All right, so that's just kind of a basic bunny. And then you can come in and add some more markers at places that you think he'd be dark, or where you want to add some fur across his back. That's that value. So where you think he'd be dark, I'm gonna add just a little bit more marker in here. Add some more marker in here. Where we think he'd be darker, we just see this one back foot. His other one's gonna be kind of behind him. His bunny tail. So adding just a little extra marker. where you're gonna make those darker value spots. I love to paint without any paint. That is just taking a marker and adding water to your marker. All right, so I added just a little bit of extra marker where I'm gonna make those darker spots on my bunny. Okay, so I've got all my marker finished. Now I could take just a regular, any kind of paintbrush, any kind of water. I just got a cup of water. Remember, you dip it in the water, slide it on the side, because you don't want to drip tons of water on your paper. And then this is the fun part. You can just take the water and blur those lines. And it makes it kind of like a watercolor. So you're blurring across and you're adding that watercolor effect. Painting without any paint. You're coming all the way across your bunny, and where you added that extra marker is gonna make it a little darker. So it gives it this watercolor. Leave some places white. You don't need to paint it all. You can leave that part white because that's kind of the shadow of his ear. Come around the edges and it just kind of blurs those lines and gives it a really pretty watercolor paint without any paint. It makes all these edges kind of soft. And we talked about this with our 5th graders when we did this. This is kind of a style that some painters use, these soft edges. Like Da Vinci, he kind of had soft, blurry edges. They call it kind of smoky looking. So a lot of painters paint this way. I like it, just kind of fun, where you can take, see where I still am taking that marker, and it's making it into a watercolor. So you're painting watercolor just from painting your marker. So you can just go over those edges, and I can pull just with water, and I don't need a lot of water. You don't want to soak your paper and make it wet. You're just lightly coming in and blurring those lines. And you're making this really cool watercolor bunny without any paint at all. So if you've got a marker at home, this works. That's it. The only thing I would say is that those ultra clean ones, sometimes the ultra clean doesn't blur as well as just any regular Crayola or any kind of marker that you have at home. Some of them are cleaner. The Target brands sometimes don't work as well as regular markers. So I'm just coming with my water, blurring out all the lines. Where I added the extra, I can pull it across. And it gives us this soft, really cool bunny. All right, so that big art word, value, that's dark to light. So some places are darker, right in here, to where I don't have anything light. That's what gives our projects a lot of depth and makes them so pretty, is when we do dark to light. Not everything needs to be the same color. So using just a one color marker, you can really have a lot of depth and really prettiness in your pictures, because you're not making it all the same color. You're leaving some, I'm gonna leave that right in there white. I might leave right in the middle light. See how those colors are mixing? I love that. That's like watercolor. When you wet your paper and then you let the color kind of mix across. So this is just an easy, fun watercolor at home. Well, you don't have a watercolor. All you got is a marker. You can make something kind of fun. This is just a soft, fun, easy bunny that you could make at home and then kind of blur it out and play around. You can draw anything with marker and then water and do the same technique.